What is up, YouTube? It is Yishan here. And I wanted to do a video, the ultimate combo video on branded Tri-Brigade. These cards are coming out soon. The brand, the Despia engine is coming out soon. I think it's exactly 2 weeks from now is the release date, April 15th. And there is a lot of hype for these cards, and for good reason. And there have been many players doing many analyses on, pure Despia, adventurer branded Despia. You could play Despia in a lot of decks. One of the decks you can play it in is Despia Tri-Brigade, and while there is some content on it on the internet, I haven't seen that much of it. So I did some research this fine evening, looked into the combos, looked into the builds, looked at what the OCG was doing, and did some research on my own, and I wanted to present to you guys what I have found in this ultimate combo video. So if you enjoy, remember to like the video, subscribe, comment. Do you guys want to see a deck profile of this deck? I just threw together some 40 card pile really quick, but if you'd like to see a deck profile, do let me know in the comments below. Other than that, guys, turn on those notification bells. Let's start with combo number 1, Rescue Cat. This is a Rescue Cat variant. I think one of the great things about this deck is that it's budget, right? Rescue Cat got reprinted. The extra deck is pretty straightforward. You'll notice in the extra deck, you don't have to run the DP. DP, that's going to save you like $100 right there. Don't have to do the fusion test. And you do have to run some branded cards. So I'm going to go over what all these cards do. Do not worry. Fear not. I will go over what these cards do because this is a new set of cards in a new kind of deck. But Rescue Cat, you always got to know the Rescue Cat combo because if this thing resolves, you want to win the game, right? And in this deck, if it resolves, you're winning, basically, right? So, okay, let's talk about how to do the combo. Very, very cheap. All the branded cards I'm showing in this video, very, very cheap. This deck can be very budget depending on what other supporting cards you play. So if you're looking for a budget deck and you have the Tri-Brigade core, would really recommend this. Okay, so let's start with Rescue Cat. I've tempted you all long enough. Okay, so Rescue Cat, we're gonna normal summon it, right? Same old Tri-Brigade stuff. We're gonna use the Rescue Cat here. We're gonna summon a Kit and a Keras. And I know you see some cool branded stuff in the main deck. I promise you we will go over that. Okay. So you do this combo. I think everyone's sort of seen this one probably a million times, I would imagine, right? Where you link these two in for a fair jet, and then you're going to use Kit to dump Nerval, and then you can use Nerval to add Fraktall. Okay. So that's the way to go. That's the way to go. You got 4 in here. Right, it might be safer, by the way, to add Keras in a situation like this. I don't know why someone wouldn't just Valor the Fair Jet, but if you have another Tri-Brigade, maybe Keras is the way to go. But in this case, you don't worry about that. So you're just going to use Fair Jet's effect to special summon out the Fraktall, and Fraktall effect is going to banish 4, and then it's going to summon out our good friend, the Shrike, the Ominous Omen. So this is very, very standard Tri-Brigade stuff. If you've used Rescue Cat before, you've seen this a lot of times. And then we're going to link these two into a Bear Brum. Okay, so this is where the fun starts. We're going to activate Shrike. Shrike can search us level 4 or lower. So we're going to want to search out the first new card, Tri-Brigade Mercourier, to our hand. Now, this is pretty cool. It's a winged beast. Very, very cool. It's got a couple of effects. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster, you can send this. This is okay. Like it could be value if you have this later in the game and you have some of the fusions out on here, right? But it doesn't come up as much. But it's important to remember the most important effect we're going to pay attention to. If this card is banished, you can add a Fallen of Albaz, or this searches any Fallen of Albaz. Or one monster that listed. So really, really good. Our goal is to try to banish this card, right? Our goal is to try to banish this card. Now, what you're going to do at this point is we're going to discard this Tri-Brigade Mercourier because we want it in the graveyard to be banished. You're going to discard this Tri-Brigade Mercourier. You could discard really anything here. I'm just going to discard, I don't know, let's discard the Ash. And you're going to summon back a Tri-Brigade that you haven't used. That's all of them at this case. So I'm just going to summon back out the Kit because I want to threaten that I still have a Keras in my hand, right? So you summon out the Kit, and at this point, you can just use your good friend the Kit here to banish 2. Depends on how you want to play this, but you definitely want to banish Mercourier. I'm going to go banish the Fraktall here for now. You're going to banish 2. You're going to summon your double dragon lords. Okay, double dragon lords, boom. You're going to do that. Mercurier is going to trigger. So now it can add anything. So what we're going to add here is not Fallen of Albaz or any of the spells or traps. We're actually going to add Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. So it lists Fallen of Albaz in its text. And this is one of the branded cards that we need. Okay, so what is this going to do? Well, this is going to generate us a ton of advantage. What this is going to do is it's going to activate itself. So I'm going to activate the effect. I'm going to send a branded spell or trap from the deck to the graveyard and apply the following effect. So what are we going to send? We're going to send this card called Branded Blade. And this card is pretty good. But basically you don't really want to draw this card. And you know, if you have some bricks in your hand, there might be some ways to use this Farrajet, you know, before you like you can like, for example, let's say you drew a brick, right? I just want to point this out. You can actually skip this part, and you can, before you activate the Albion, you can summon out the Predaplant right away, and then you can draw and put back any brick that you want, and then you can use the add effect to add the Albion. So just a little heads up there if you want to, like, you know, if you have some bricks in your hand, you can do that. But for right now, we don't need to go that line. We're just going to do this. So what does this do? This Branded Blade, when it's sent, when it's banished, or you can banish it from your graveyard, and you can just add back one of your Fallen or Albaz, or one card that specifically lists that in its text. In this case, we have the Mercurier already, so we can add one of its banished ones. So this is where the synergy comes in. We send this, right? And because we sent this from, because this was in the hand, because we sent this, sorry, this card is worded so confusingly, but because we sent the Fallen / branded spell trap from the deck to the graveyard, right? We place this card on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Then, if you place this card from your hand, draw one card. So since we placed it from our hand and we sent it to the graveyard, we place it on the bottom of our deck, and then we draw one card. Okay. And now we can use Branded Blade here, banish the Branded Blade. We can now add back the Mercurier. So this is really good. This is just going to give us extreme value, right? Extreme value. So this is pretty cool. And then finally, then you can go here and go Verte Anaconda. You can use the Farrajet here if you want. Draw one, put one back. I don't know if I drew an extra card, but as you can see, you have extreme advantage. You're still not even done yet. What you're going to do now is you're going to pay 2,000. So we're going to use the final ones of our fusion cards. We're going to use the final ones, and we're going to send Branded Fusion. Now, Branded Fusion, we're going to try to fusion summon this guy, Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. If you aren't familiar with this card yet, it is time to get familiar. This card is just straight up cracked, right? And what does it take? It takes one Fallen of Albaz and one Fusion Synchro Xyz or Linked monster. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Fallen of Albaz from our decks into the graveyard, and we're going to use Tri-Brigade Bearbroom, the Rampant Rampager, okay? And then Rampant Rampager, this guy can add us Revolt, and then you can sort of do whatever you want. Do you want to put the Mercurier back on the bottom? You know, whatever you want, right? I'm going to put Mercurier back on the bottom. You can even keep it in your hand, actually, because this is also a negate. Remember, I said this is also a negate. So you can keep this in your hand. You know, you probably won't need Tri-Brigade follow-up, so you can do this, right? This card, right? Remember, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can just negate it, right? So this is another negate, which is pretty insane, So I'm going to keep this in my hand, and then we have this. So what does this do? This card, it's a quick effect. You can just banish a monster your opponent controls. What's the price for doing that? What's the cost? You have to send a Fallen of Albaz fusion monster, or one that lists it. What do we have that we can send? We can send Brigand the Glory Dragon. What does Brigand the Glory Dragon do? Well, this card, if it's sent to the graveyard during the end phase, you can special out or add a Tri-Brigade from your deck to your hand. So you not only need to banish your opponent's monster during the end phase, you get that recurrence, and you have Tri-Brigade Revolt, and you have Double Dragon Lords, and you have Tri-Brigade Mercurier. All of this, if you don't die by the next turn, you're going to have so much advantage. You're going to have the Revolt Search, you're going to have the Shuraic Search, and you're going to have Brigand the Glory Dragon Special Summon or Search. So this is an extremely, extremely powerful board if you get it to resolve. That's the Rescue Cat combo. There's a couple cards we didn't go over, right? We didn't go over Albion, the Branded Dragon. What is its purpose in that deck? And some other stuff. So This is it, guys. This is the main Rescue Cat combo. There are a lot of other combos, and I'm going to show them to you. Okay, guys, we are back with the Keras Nerval combo. Now, this is a weird one because you don't usually see this one too often. I'm going to just give myself 4,000 life points real quick before I run out of life points. But this is interesting because you used to have problems with Keras and Nerval. You'd rather open Keras Kit in a lot of cases. In this case, opening Keras Nerval is actually not too bad. What you want to do is you want to go boom, boom, and then you can activate the Nerval, right? So Nerval is going to get you your kit, okay? Kits, it used to be a problem because you just have to use your normal summon and then you just wouldn't have anything good to send, right? Well, actually, we've sort of alleviated the problem here. We've alleviated the problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Kit. We can send it to the graveyard now, right? We're going to summon out our good friend, the Almirage, okay? Now, what's going to happen here is that Kit is going to trigger, and we're going to send Tri-Brigade Mercourier to the graveyard. So actually, we have good Kit targets now besides Nerval, which is a huge, huge, huge boost. This is one of the main reasons I think this is good in this deck. This brand is good is because we can send something else with Kit besides Nerval, right? So like, for example, if you just start with Tri-Brigade plays the first turn, eventually you can send Mercourier, banish it, and then you can get all into your super branded value plays. So what is this going to do for us? Well, of course, we always want to banish these guys, and we're going to summon out our good friend Bearbrum here, right? Bearbrum. And what happens here is we're going to trigger Mercourier. Again, we're going to use Mercourier to add our Albion, the value generator, to our hand, right? You saw in the first combo, boom, you reveal this. You send Branded Blade to the graveyard. You get to add the Mercourier back to your hand. Super value. Then you get to put this on the bottom and then draw cards. Actually, technically, you don't add it back to your hand because you have to use Branded Blade to banish it. So, okay, that's just, you know, slight details. Okay, so now, what do you want to do here, right? What do you want to do? Well, there's a couple of options here, but the main thing you want to do is you want to discard Mercourier and then whatever cards, so, you know, let's pretend I didn't draw a Tri-Brigade. It doesn't really matter what you discard. In this case, I will, because we're only going to link 2. You're going to banish 2, summon back your Kit, right? Boom. Kit has been summoned back. And then there's a boatload of plays you could do here. Personally, one of my favorites is you can banish 2 with Kit, right? Banish 1, banish 2, and you can summon out a Double Dragon Lords. Okay, boom, Double Dragon Lords has been summoned. You can, oops, that's not a Double Dragon Lords, excuse me. Double Dragon Lords has been summoned, and as you can see, we're getting something very similar to the first combo. You can tribute this off, protect one of these guys, and then, you know, link these 2 off for a Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda, and then you can do the same thing that you did, where you pay 2,000 life points, boom, 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 right? Pay 2,000, send our good friend, the Branded Fusion, send the Fallen of Albaz to the graveyard. Where's our good friend, the Fallen of Albaz? And then we can also send our Bearbrum, right? So boom, we send the Bearbrum. We get to special summon out Mirror Jade again, and then we get to add the Revolt to our hand, and we are sitting very nice and very pretty. And, you know, this is really, really still probably one of the strong boards of the deck, and then you can put something on the bottom, whatever you want, cross out, I guess, in this case. And then you set the Revolt, boom. So this is how, you know, used to be a really awkward situation with Keras and Nerval. Now that's not so much the case anymore, right? So this is sort of a new style of combo, and it ends you still on this same board. So it's really, really, really strong. I really, really like sort of how this lets you play more with Keras. You could even consider running a third Keras, I think, because it doesn't use your normal, well, it does use your normal summon, but at least you can play around it. Okay, so that's it for the Keras Nerval combo. Let's go check out another combo, shall we? Okay, so here we are with the Keras and Kit version. You just saw Keras and Nerval. Keras and Kit, roughly the same thing, but I figured I'd go over it anyway. You want to start like this with Keras discarding Kit. Kit is going to activate, sending the Tri-Brigade Nerval from your deck to your graveyard. Nerval is going to trigger, adding the Mercourier to your hand. This is our new Tri-Brigade friend. And what we can do here is we can banish 2. Okay, so we banish 2. Now, if this gets impermed, you just normal Mercourier, make Verte, and be on your merry way. But for now, we can summon out our good friend Farrajet. We can activate the Farrajet to special summon the Mercourier, and then we can link these 2 off for our good friend, the Bear Broom. Bear Broom is going to trigger. We're going to discard some stuff to summon back out a Tri-Brigade. And then what we can do is we can banish these two, right? So we need to sort of recoup all the advantage we just lost by using Bear Broom. So we're going to get it all back with McCourier by using this to summon the Double Dragon Lords. McCourier is going to trigger. We're going to add our Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, to our hand. Again, this guy is going to get all the value that we need. So we're just going to send this Albion, send the Branded Blade, boom, to the bottom of the deck we go. We draw a card. Then we can banish this guy to trigger or to add back the McCourier. And then we just sort of recouped our losses there. Link these two off, summon out the Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. We can trigger if we had a brick in our hand at this point. We can activate Farrajet, draw a card, put one back, and then we can pay 2,000. And as you can sort of see, I just paid all the rest of my life points. I've been doing a lot of these combos, guys. Been doing a lot of them with a lot of takes. Send this, send this guy, and we're gonna summon out our Mirror Jade, trigger our Bear Broom to add the Revolt to our hand, and then we can put I don't know, let's just put Effect Veiler to the bottom. So now we've got a couple negates, we got the McCourier to discard, and then, you know, we've got this and this, lots of follow-up, lots of fun. So that is it for the Keras Kit combo. Now I want to show you some Fraktall combos, so let's take a look at those, shall we? Okay guys, I really want to show you this Fraktall Nerval combo. I was working on it tonight and I think I discovered something really, really powerful. So let me show you how it's done here. We start with Fraktall, and again, one of the big reasons why we want to play this new branded Tri-Brigade deck is because Kit can send McCourier when you have Nerval access already. That is huge and it can't be understated. I should also probably mention that this combo I think also works with Foolish Burial. We'll see. I just figured this out. You normal summon the Nerval and you banish two. You banish two to summon out Farrajet. Now, the reason we're not summoning Bear Broom first, and a lot of your testing, you'll realize if you summon Bear Broom, you can summon another link, but you can't get the Double Dragon Lords because you just don't have the link zones, right? So you can summon Bear Broom, and the best you can do is basically Anaconda at that point, right? So, okay, we're going to do this. We banish the McCourier. So McCourier is going to get our super value. So our super value is Albion, the Albion value generator. And then what we're going to do, I'm just going to, you know, put this, activate it, send our Branded Blade here. Value, 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 put it on the bottom. It doesn't really matter what we draw. We draw a Veiler, very nice. And then we can, of course, use the Branded Blade to summon out or add back our McCourier to our hand, right? And then what we can do is we can activate this guy. We're going to activate this guy, summon the McCourier, okay? Summon the McCourier, and you can link these two off for our good friend Bear Broom, the Rampant Rampager. Now, basically what you want to do is you want to discard, I'm just going to discard, you know, two hand traps, pretending like we had to use the cross out for some reason. You can summon back the Kit, which you haven't used. In this case, we can just easily banish two. We banish two, we easily make the Double Dragon Lords, and then we send these two bad boys to the graveyard. For this, we can draw, put back a Fallen, put this back, I guess, right? And then we pay 2,000 again, and of course, yeah, we pay 2,000, we send the Branded Fusion, we send Fallen of Albaz, we send the Bear Broom, so send this guy, and then send the fall, or send this to the graveyard, summon out our Mirror Jade. Probably want it in defense, but doesn't really matter too much because we're just comboing. Add this, put this back, and then you can call it a day, right? So this is pretty cool, and I think it also works with Foolish Burial. So Foolish Burial Nerval also achieves the same thing, because I don't think we need to do this Fraktall in our graveyard at all. So this is Fraktall Nerval or Foolish Burial Nerval. Really, really cool. So this is what I really like about this variant. And so that is a Fraktall Nerval. Okay, so you just saw Fraktall Nerval. Fraktall Kit is pretty much the same thing. I think it also works, well, it doesn't quite work with Foolish Burial. So this one, no Foolish Burial, right? Because you have to send Nerval first. So no Foolish Burial for this one. For the other one, you can send Foolish Burial. So this is just a reminder for all you guys that you cannot use Foolish Burial for this one. So I kind of switched it around. I made it a little confusing, but I just want to show you, you got to go Fraktall. And you're going to use this Fraktall to send the Nerval. Okay, Nerval is going to activate. We want to grab the Mercurier. Now, it could be risky, right? Like sometimes if you have another tri piece, it's better to add Keras, but we're going, this is a combo video. I want to show you guys a combo. So boom. This is actually really similar to a couple of combos you've already seen. It's the same idea, and I think once you get used to it, this deck becomes much easier to understand. You want to go Fairjet so that you can special out this guy, and then you can link these two off. Okay, so link these two off, summon out a Bearbrum. You can trigger the kit here, it doesn't really matter, or not, whatever you want. It depends. Sometimes I'm sort of against triggering kit, just so you save Tri-Brigades in your deck, right? You're already going to end up with enough removal anyway, so sometimes it's better not to trigger kit. If you ran like 2 Mercurier, you could trigger it again and send another Mercurier, but in this deck I just don't have it. So you can send these to the graveyard, summon back our good friend the Nerval here, and then you can banish 2. So yeah, again, we're trying to recoup the cost of activating Bearbrum by using this Mercurier. Mercurier is going to add our Albion, and I think you're starting to get used to this. I'm just going to do this now. I'm going to shortcut this. We're going to send this to the graveyard, put this to the bottom of the deck, draw a card, activate this guy, add back the Mercurier, and again, we're sort of here at the same board. We just got into it in a different way where we can link these two off for our good friend Predator Verte Anaconda, draw a card, put one back, and then send this to the graveyard, summoning this by paying 2,000 and sending the branded fusion. So sorry, I think you've already seen this. I'm already at 0 life points, so it's I've been doing combos all night. So okay, boom, you send this and the Bearbrum with the branded fusion off the Verte to summon this guy. You can add the Revolt at this point in your combo now, and then you can put 1 card back. So I am just going to put the Effect Veiler back. I will set 1 card, and that is the same combo that we just saw. Okay, I wanted to make one more note of something here. I will do it really quick. So just one more, and then we'll have, this is sort of the last quote-unquote combo, and it's what happens basically. Okay, this is a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. I just put this back, I got lucky. Okay, let's say we go foolish. This works with Fraktall as well, right? But okay, it's all the same. So we go Nerval, or Kits and Nerval, add, I'm just gonna add Fraktall here. Okay, so we add Fraktall here, and we're going to normal summon the Fraktall, and we're going to banish 2. Okay, so we banish 2. We banish 2 for what? We banish 2 for our, I guess, our Fairjet in this case, because we have a brick in our hand, and we can link these 2 guys off for a Predaplant Verte Anaconda. Where's our Verte Anaconda? Verte here, and then we can use the Fairjet, draw 1, and put the Fallen Albaz back. Now, the point I wanted to make in this line is I'm going to pay another 2,000, lose 0 life points because I've been comboing all night. We can send Branded Fusion to send the Fallen of Albaz, and we can also send Predaplant Verte Anaconda as the link monster for Mirror Jade, the Iceblade Dragon. So here we go. We summon this guy out. We have sort of our follow-up ready. Got some hand traps. That was the main tip, that you can use Verte with the Branded Fusion as the link monster. Okay, so that's just the quick tip. You don't need like another link monster. You can use the Verte. So that's the quick tip for you guys. Then I've got one more trick with Branded Fusion to show you after this. That's going to be it, and then that'll be it. So I hope you guys enjoy the last combo, and I will see you then. I wanted to go over one more combo for you guys. And it's not really a combo, but it's just sort of how Branded Fusion could work well in the deck, even if you draw it, right? So let's talk about that. So reset the deck, we'll take a look. So guys, here we have something interesting. I just want to sort of talk about this because it's a play that will probably come up. And it's one of the reasons why we run this Albion the Branded Dragon in our extra deck. And it's because, okay, let's say we're doing our combos, right? We go, we go send Nerval. Doesn't really matter. We send Nerval and we add Kit to our hand, okay? And we're gonna go, we're having a jolly old time. We normal summon. We're gonna go, oh yeah, I'm gonna banish these 2, and your opponent hits you with a Veiler or an Imperm. Branded Fusion, you can still activate it as long as you haven't special summoned a monster from your extra deck that's not a fusion monster. So it's sort of like in between Fusion Destiny and Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. If you activate Red Eyes Fusion, doesn't matter what you do, even if it gets ashed, you can't summon anything for the rest of the turn. Branded Fusion is the same way. You can't special summon monsters from your extra deck except fusion monsters if it gets ashed, right? But that's, you know, that's okay as long as you haven't done it. And then Fusion Destiny is sort of like the, you know, you can just activate it anytime at the end of your combo, whatever, right? So, okay, let's say you haven't gotten to a link yet. Boom, they hit you here. What do you want to do? So what we can do here is we can activate the branded fusion and we can summon out Albion, right? And the reason we couldn't summon out Mirror Jade because we actually need the fusion synchro because these are link monster, and if we tried to link this into Armirage, we couldn't do it. So what we're actually gonna have to do is we're going to have to summon Albion, and we're gonna use some fusion materials from our deck. One of them is going to be the Fallen of Albaz, and so that is this guy, Mr. Brick, and the other guy is probably going to be our good friend. What should we send? We want to send we have to send a light monster, right? So we can either send Valor or Nibiru in this deck. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna send Nibiru. Okay. So you send Nibiru, and then when this guy is fusion summoned, you can trigger the effect, right? You can banish fusion materials to fusion summon again from your hand, field, or graveyard. So what we can do is we can actually banish Albion itself, plus the Fallen of Albaz from the graveyard. And what this is going to allow us to do is this is going to allow us to summon out Mirror Jade, the Iceblade Dragon. Okay, so this is where sort of the strength of the deck lies, because then even if you draw Branded Fusion, you still have a negate, you've got some hand traps ready to go, and you also have follow-up because again, this can send the Tri-Brigade Fusion, and then you can just summon out some more stuff. So I don't know. I see a lot of you just only run one, but this card is a pretty good like backup plan if your stuff gets impermed really, really early. And a lot of times, as a Tri-Brigade player, that's where imperms hurt the most, is on your first Tri-Brigade attempt. So I just wanted to sort of show that sort of scenario with Branded Fusion because I think it's really, really interesting. You can use it even after you get impermed here still, and you get a lot of follow-up. So that is that, guys. That concludes the combo video for now. There's a lot more combos. Honestly, this is just one night of me thinking, and so it took a lot of work. So if you guys enjoyed, please consider subscribing. Yeah, I hope you guys try this deck out. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Is there anything that you guys have been trying out? There's a lot of cool stuff with Branded coming out. It's going to take over the metagame probably, but it should be exciting. Because it can really be splashed in a lot of decks, and it's very cheap. So I thank you, Konami, for that. It's very cheap. The structure deck, these cards are going to be probably a couple bucks at most, right? So you just pick up 5 of them, you get your Tri-Brigade 4, throw this deck together, have a blast at your local game store, use these combos, beat your opponents. All right, guys, that is it. My name is Yishan. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe, like, blah, 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 and I will see you in the next one.